team inventory and issued informative training. Why track inventory? Inventory such as tools, equipment, safety gear, PPE, hazardous chemical substance, etc. must be tracked and monitored for multiple reasons. Some of the reasons are mostly to track the usage and calculate the statistics, such as the carbon footprint we leave, and to ensure the safe for use compliance and the replacement once expired, and to streamline the replacement process. How to complete the documents. This document is set up in an Excel spreadsheet which has 4 forms which needs to be completed. Firstly, the team information, then the PPE issued register, then the hazardous chemical substances inventory register, and finally the general inventory register, which is for everything else. Please pay attention to what I'm doing in the following video and listen carefully so that you can complete the form correctly. Let's start. Firstly, you will note that there are some of the cells that you cannot click on. This is because the document is protected to avoid unnecessary information. First, insert the team ref that you received, the region in which your team are working, such as the Eastern Cape, then the team office to which office you are registered, such as Eastern Cape, RAN or RF or whatever. Then insert the team manager name. Then move over to the team supervisor name. You will note that the supervisor name you type in here will automatically go down to the team list. Then select your stream. If you are on more than one stream, you can just simply select it here by indicating yes on both the streams you are working on and indicating no on that which you will not be. If you do other type of work, there is a space available to specify any other type of stream you might be working with. Then you can just complete the team list by entering all the additional names such as the supervisor assistant, that's the first person who will be helping the supervisor mainly, and then simply just add in other members. Unfortunately, you will only be able to enter 3 additional and thus a maximum of 5 team members in total. Then you can use the checklist to, when you've issued everything to everyone, you can complete it there. Yes, if you've issued it. No, if it still needs to be issued. Not applicable if nothing will be issued to that person. You can just repeat this after you've done everything for each and every employee to ensure that you go through each employee's required issued equipment or tools, etc. Then move over to the PPE issued list. You will note that the names you have entered will already come through, as well as any other type of information at the top required. Firstly, indicate yes, no, or not applicable towards the PPE that will be required for each employee, as shown. As like here, you can see the hard hats, overalls, safety shoes. You can just say yes, no, or not applicable, and then enter the quantities. You can also do this by hand. That is why it is in gray, so that you can print it and write over the gray areas. Then you can enter the date on which you will be issuing this to the employee, the day they will be receiving the PPE. Once again, you can do this by hand as well if you choose just to select what is required and then print the document, or you can change the color and then go and print the document. Once it's printed, You can let each employee sign where it states sign so that they confirm as per the conditions of issue below that they have received their PPE and know and will comply to the conditions set forth. Repeat this process for each and every employee that you have listed on your team. This is the only document which would require printing and signage. Moving over to the team inventory for the hazardous chemical substances. Firstly, enter the chemical description, that's what it is used for, what is its basic, for example, a cleaning product. Then enter the product name, which for example, Handy Andy. Then enter the product supplier, whom made the product or what, let's say it's Pfizer, and then insert a reference which you will mark on the inventory, on the bottle of Handy Andy or whatsoever. Then enter the date you purchased it and the MSDS. The safety officer will add this if required. Select the responsible person from the drop-down list. This is the person on the team who will take responsibility, and then the date you provided this to the employee. Indicate the dangers of the hazardous chemical substance. If you do not know this, just leave it blank. The safety officer will complete this from the MSDS of that product. And you can basically just repeat the process until you have all your documents, all the chemicals in there. If you need more, you can simply just copy and paste to get more lines in there. And you can just continue on this list and capture everything. Then moving over to your general. This is now everything else. Firstly, a product description. You enter it there. Let's say, for example, a laptop. Product name, HP 350, and it's a 2016 model. So you just basically put a description of the product in there and then provide the product supplier from whom you purchased this product or who manufactured it. Once again, insert the reference which you use to specify that specific type of product or that specific item. Enter the date purchased and enter the manufactured date. Especially for safety gear, you need to enter the specific manufacturing date. Then select the person responsible. Once again, the drop-down list will be there automatically, and the date you issued this to the employee. Then specify if it's a tool, in this case no. Equipment, yes, it's a laptop. Safety gear, no. And other will be not applicable because it's not another thing. Now for kits, let's say you have a fall arrest kit. Firstly, you bold the text, and if you want to, you can even underline the text. And then you enter below it the contents of that kit. For example, you will have your full body harness, your lanyards, and let's say your helmet. Then you have purchased the kit probably with the content from one specific supplier. So enter the product name, which would probably be the entire kit name, and the supplier name. If you bought this from different suppliers for each and every item, enter that information. Then insert the reference you will have on your kit. The date you purchased this kit, the date it was manufactured, then select from the drop down again the person whom will take responsibility, who you've issued it to. Then specify the date on which you issued it. Again indicate, is it a tool? No. Is it equipment? No. Is it safety gear? Yes. Is it other? Not applicable. Now, as most of the information will be the same, you don't need to complete everything. However, the number reference as you mark it is important. Use the same number as the kit and then in consecutive numbers enter for each individual content of the kit. Should your date of purchase or manufacturing date or your product supplier or names change or vary if you bought it from another place, if this is not bought in one kit but will be put into one kit, you need to supply the information for each individual content. So basically that's it. If you complete it, you're done with it. Now, in general, this will be something good to do when you are completing especially a long list of inventory. Move over to normal view. Then you will be able to see just the form. You won't be seeing the printing details and the references. So then you can copy by either selecting it in complete or by just selecting one singular row and then going as long as you need the list to be. Right click, say paste, and the lines will copy through and all the coding will be there. Then, this is a good thing, freeze your panes. Then whenever you work through the document as you complete, obviously if you don't do this you won't be able to see what is required at the top. So if you just scroll down this way with frozen panes, you will still be seeing what information is required. Note that if you go back to page layout, it will ask you to unfreeze the panes. Just say OK, it won't change anything. And then you're done. Training conclusion. Yes, this seems like a lot of work, but you will only do this once in such a huge load. After this, after it's been captured on the IMS, the system becomes a lot easier. Now, all you have to do, if you purchase something new, inform the safety officer, and then it will be on the IMS system and it will be tracked. And that's it. Thank you very much for your cooperation.